Recording?
Yeah.
Got the branded.
Company water bottle.
Oh, yes.
Very corporate.
Very corporate, very pro. Very techie. After yesterday's video, mate, of not being very techie, this is particularly techie. Got it in my head we weren't going to do a video today, or start a video.
No.
And you've clocked this, and this
Wow.
is right up your street, isn't it?
It's just perfect, you know.
It
perfect,
is really, isn't it?
Perfect video content. And
So,
it's stuff that people don't see us do very often.
No,
So it's,
well, it's stuff
interesting.
that, yeah, it is, this is a typical R&D sort of project. This,
Yeah.
it's back onto that Triumph, the Triumph Twin, where they're trying to get more than twice the horsepower out of it and sell sort of various kits. And we have here 3 pistons that have been specially made for our customer by Amiga. And as you can see, that is not a standard Amiga finish on there.
No.
And there's a reason for that, mate, because these are the ones that we put in a previous video that have had the crowns welded.
Right, so they were welded up to basically bring up the valve pocket.
Exactly.
To take up some of the capacity inside the combustion chamber? Or?
Trying to,
Yeah.
yes, that's the idea. So it's all very R&D at the moment. This is the original piston that he's had made from Amiga. Turns out, obviously, at the time, didn't really know what he needed because the original pistons were a flat top.
Right.
But with the cams, etc., they needed pockets in, but didn't want to lower the compression too much. So it's a bit of a trial and error sort of thing.
Yeah.
So what they've done is he's had this made. Now, it turns out that the inlet, it sort of looks a bit yellow because it's got diesel in there, mate, but we'll explain why in a moment. So you can see that the inlet pockets, well, you can't see because you don't know, but they are the correct depth for the cam on the inlet. Exhausts are too much, really.
What, too deep?
Too deep.
So
Don't need
why
very
you can-
unnecessarily deep.
Yeah, so you can bring it right up. And it's
Yeah,
not a
so basically
problem.
what he's trying to do is he wants to up the compression. The best way to do it, he spoke to Amiga and they said the best way to do it without running into any sort of risks of detonation, etc., is to bring those exhaust seats up there,
Right.
the pockets. So what we've done is weld up all here, and I've machined it back and trimmed it all back, and we've lifted them up 2 millimeters to what they were there.
Right, okay.
And what I'm doing here, mate, is I'm doing working out basically how much difference that has made in respect of the CCs, just bringing those seats up.
Yeah, right, okay.
So the reason I'm doing this is because if it was a flat top piston with pockets in,
Yeah,
you could use this method where we grease the outside of the piston, put our perspex over the top. The reason we've got 2 holes is, one, we feed the fluid into there. We're using diesel today because it's nice and thin.
yeah.
And we've got 1 air hole. So you find when you get to the top, if you haven't got an air hole, you find that you have a bubble around the outside edge,
Right.
and you're not getting a true reading.
Yeah.
So what we do is if the piston's sort of rocking like this, wherever the bubble is, we turn the perspex until the hole is over the bubble,
Yeah.
and then when you inject through here, you've got a pretty accurate reading. But we can't do it on these because you've got that raised dome. Even Amiga are not able to tell us what the negative or positive CCs of the crown of this piston is.
Okay.
So
So what you're working out here isn't exactly the absolute capacity of the engine.
No.
You are literally trying to find the difference between the original design and your modified design.
we've got to end up working out the compression ratio.
Yeah.
So this is the first thing we need to find out. There's 3 things you need to find out when you're working out the compression ratio. Is you need to find out how many CCs that's taking up, as in positive or negative. And what I mean by that is, say for instance, you've either got a bowl or a dome.
Yeah.
So your bowl would be negative. So that means that you've got when it's up to the top up TDC, you've got extra CCs in the bowl. If it's a dome, you've got a positive. So it's basically you've got to take some CCs out of that. It's filling the gap basically and pushing CCs out.
Yeah.
We're unsure with this because it's a bit deceiving. You've got pockets that are going into the crown and you've got a dome that's coming out. So it's
bold and domed.
Bold and domed, mate. So it could, you know, for all we know, that could be zero.
It could like, yeah, level it right out.
So that's what we need to find out. We've done this one, and this is a positive 6 cc. So what that means is it's 6 cc's above crown of the first surface of the piston. So it's taking up an extra 6 cc's in the combustion chamber when on TDC. We've just worked this one out, which is a standard, well, when I say standard, it's the original Amiga design.
Yeah.
And this is 2.5. So although it looks like you've got big pockets and it'd be negative, it's actually 2.5 cc's.
Still slightly positive.
Yeah, so we've got a 3.5 cc difference between the modded one now and the original.
Okay.
And from there, what we need to find out now, mate, is we need to find out the cc's of the cylinder head.
So you do that with the same method, put the perspex over, grease around the edge.
Yeah,
and
making sure we've got a plug in there, and obviously
Yeah.
all 4 valves are properly seated.
Yep.
And then we do the same.
It's
Find
also
out
a
how many
good way
cc's.
to find a leak if you don't have a vacuum tester, isn't it?
Exactly, it is. Yeah, that's what a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And also then the last thing would be to find out what head gaskets he's using, the crushed thickness,
Yeah.
and also the diameter of the head gasket, and take that into consideration. So a bit of a long-winded job, mate, but it's very important because he can work out from there what compression he can go for.
Yeah. Well, he needs to be able to say, if he's going to sell these pistons, he needs to be able to say they're a 13:1 or whatever.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
He needs to know.
He can then go back to, once we've decided, he can then go back to Amiga and they can change the design and bring those up, so you're not running a modified sort of blasted and machined back piston.
Yeah.
To find out the compression ratio, well, first of all, to find out the, well, we may as well show them my little
Yeah,
show
show
them
me
my little jiggery,
device.
mate. This little device here, to find out because we've got a positive, and we can't put the perspex flat on the piston,
Yeah.
because we've got that dome, what I've done is I have made a little jig here, mate, which is a very nice slide fit over the top of the piston and goes down. I put a top ring in there and it just goes down to the top ring.
Right.
Then what I do is I measure the diameter and I measure the height of the piston minus from the top of the ring to the top of the piston.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we see what we've got from the crown of the piston up to the top, and we can work out the volume.
So you basically fill it up right up to this perspex.
Yeah.
And because it rests on that top ring, you know it's going to be.
I know
up
the
in
volume
same
of this
place.
if we had a flat top piston, basically.
Yeah.
And then whatever it is, less or more, we know exactly how many cc's the crown of that piston is.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Fairly simple idea, but it works.
Yep.
And it's fairly accurate. So I've worked out that my jig here, if we had a flat top piston, is 165.5 cc's.
Okay.
Okay, and how I did that was there's 2 ways you can do it. I've took the diameter, so it's a 91.2 diameter in that tool that I've made.
Yeah.
And we've converted to centimetres, so that's 9.12 centimetres. Here is also the radius, which is half of the diameter, okay, because there's 2 ways you can work this out. And then you've got the depth, it's 2.53 centimetres deep, and that's from the crown of the piston to the surface of my tool.
Right.
So you can either do it the way that most people will probably know, which is pi 3.14. It's actually 3.14159.
Oh yeah.
Keeps going.
Yeah.
But anyway, 3.14 is adequate.
Yeah.
So it's pi times r times r. So that's pi times radius. Or you can go 0.7854 times the diameter times diameter, and then you times the depth, and that gives you the volume in cc's. Okay.
Right.
Both of those will give you the same result, and we've ended up with 165.5.
Oh, I do.
So I've measured the modified piston with the fluid, and I've got 159.5 cc's, which is 6 cc's less than my tool, which means we have a positive of 6 cc's.
Yeah.
Then done it on the original, and that's how I found out, mate. We've got 2.5 cc's.
Yeah, you're looking for the difference basically between those.
That's it. And all I do to do that, mate, is I've got you can get a big pipette, which we haven't got because it broke.
No,
So I've got these little 2cc ones. Just
Yeah.
keeps, and you just jot it as you're going along.
Yeah.
Long-winded, but better if we had a big job in.
Yeah.
But we haven't at the moment, so I'll have to order one of those. Keep forgetting. And then, if you can, if any of you out there are into Fords and you've got the Burton Power magazine, they've got some very handy stuff in the first few pages of this mag, mate. And one of which shows you how to work out engine displacement, compression ratio, crankshaft stroke. It's really handy. I always go to this page.
Yeah.
Although I sort of know it, I always
Well, you
resort
wanna
back to
make
this
sure
because
you're
there's
getting the right
sometimes
formula.
intervals of a few months.
Yeah.
So the next step, as I say, I'm going to get the crushed head gasket depth and the diameter. I'm just going to CC this in a moment, and then we can work out his compression ratio, mate. Quite exciting. And he'll be very excited, won't he?
He will. Ambush.
Bloody cars. Are we on?
Yeah, we're on.
Can't be doing
not
with
do
that
that
again, mate. Cannot be doing with that. So, what day is it? Friday.
Yeah.
End of the week. Planned on doing a video yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah.
We said we were going to do a video on the old MX-5.
Didn't really.
You had a haircut, more
I did.
important things to do than
Sorry,
video
mate.
us idiots. And me and Dan were tying ourselves in knots,
Well, you and Dan were.
literally in wiring.
You were very in the zone. It was very sort of
We were,
focused
it was,
and
wasn't it?
quiet.
Intense.
Yeah, it was. And
Intense.
to be honest, I don't think there would have been too much to film because a lot of it was you were researching on your phone and Dan was fiddling with the ECU and you were in the wiring diagrams and
There'd
all
have
of
been
that.
a lot of editing, mate.
Yeah.
So I think what I'll do is I'll just tell them where we are with this, mate. And it's good news and there's bad news. Bad news is we didn't actually get it running. Good news is we did have it turning over, and it seems that almost everything is correct, isn't it?
Yeah.
So let's have a little look in here. Just to recap very quickly, Dan has obviously, apparently it's a G5 Link ECU. I said it was an Omex, but it ain't. It's a Link. And if you have a little look over there, mate, at the old bird's nest of wires.
Oh, torch is dead. That's no use.
Oh, flashy, flashy. Let me get another one. So that bird's nest of wires there, mate, has obviously got to be sorted and soldered. Now we've got them in the positions that they need to be in, apparently. But, so Dan had actually, what he's done is he's got because this is a later car. This is like a facelift Mark 1 sort of thing.
Right.
But the engine and the ECU is out of a very early one.
Okay.
So the problem we had is this ECU is a two plug, whereas Simon's was a 3 plug.
Okay.
Some of the things are the same, but not necessarily in the right order. But then other stuff is quite redundant on this engine or the early car with this ECU. So it's got no ABS and stuff like that, I don't think. So basically what Dan had to do, we've got an ECU out of one thing, we've got the plugs, it's obviously the wiring for the ECU is different to the original. We've got the plugs out of the early car, the damaged car, and then we've got Simon's loom behind that. So we've had to basically make it work.
Sounds like my worst nightmare.
Well, it's not my best dream,
No.
to be honest. But all that there does actually make sense, especially to Dan. So what he's going to do is solder it all up now and tidy it up, make it nice. And but he's basically made it work, mate. And that saves Simon about £2,000 on a new ECU, mapping, a new loom, and all that jazz.
Yeah.
So
what's the issue then?
So now the only issue, two reasons we didn't get it running. The battery went flat and we didn't have a jump pack. And another thing, the main thing was the fuel pump wasn't doing anything.
Right.
So Dan's put a live to the fuel pump and it works. So we know that's not sticking or anything like that.
So it's somewhere in the wiring, or is it?
Well, it's got to be somewhere in the wiring, because I actually found the software on the Link website and found out which one it was, and I downloaded it and connected it to the laptop, connected the ECU to the laptop, and this is the last sort of log that it's got, and you can see all the green is basically what works. So this is all what we've had to wire in.
So we did, when we first turned it over, we weren't getting the coil packs, weren't, well, there was
so
no
we
spark,
so we figured out that there was, you have to add a switched live into the coilover plug conversion.
Right.
So we figured that out,
So
and
that
obviously
was-
once we've done that, it all
That was
works.
sorted, yeah.
The fuel pump, that all does work. When you turn the ignition on, it sort of flashes, so it goes through like a cycle there, like what do they call
primes
it? Like
it.
a prime cycle. So that all works. Once I downloaded this, we were fine. We needed a pin to put into the ECU from the boost controller. So that's the boost control solenoid,
Yeah.
which we've connected up now. And when we downloaded this, you've got various auxiliaries on the ECU, and you can put it into whichever one, and map it. So it shows that this one is in auxiliary 7. So I worked that out, and I actually got that right, mate.
Ideal.
Innit?
Proper.
So we've got a couple of fault codes here, but I think it's voltage related now. So once we've charged the battery up, and Dan has managed to find out what the issue is, whether it's a fuse or a relay for the pump, it ain't going to be anything too major.
No.
And in theory, mate, it should all run, because the engine ran before and it was mapped and it was all good.
Well, like you say, we've got the green light from the ECU saying fuel pump's all right, and you put a live to it, and it works. So it can't be anything too major. It's somewhere between the ECU and the pump, or
got to be, innit?
something. So
yeah, so not too bad. We've put oil in the engine now. Obviously, we've got a bit of tidying up to do here, but we found homes for nearly all of the wiring.
yeah,
We've got to put the pipes back on, water pipes, fill it up with water. I've got to put gearbox oil and diff oil in, which we've got underneath there. We should be good to go for next weekend. So what I would like to do is, I'd like in the meantime to get an unlock, because that Linky ECU is locked. I'd like to get it unlocked.
right.
So we can sort of potentially read some live data and go around the track and just make sure everything's okay, innit?
Good idea, yeah.
But it's all looking good, so we're very, very happy.
Yeah, so you made progress.
Basically,
and,
the main
you know where
concern
you
was
are.
the wiring,
Yeah.
whether that ECU would work, but it looks like it is going to. So there we
Proper.
go, mate. That's the progress with the MX-5. And now it looks like a rubbish dump inside again. But
Well,
anyway, mate, more to the point, more importantly, you're off on holiday.
I am.
This is your last day.
It is.
Not ever, but for 2 weeks, which is going to feel like ever. But I've got enough to get on with now. 2 good things have happened today. One, the auto dock bits have turned up for the Porsche.
Nice.
So the Goertzer rings and the Glyco bearings. Very impressed with that. So I've got that to get on with once the crank's back from balancing. And also the Cosworth that has been sitting here for probably a month and a half, the one with what would have been scrapped block, 200 block.
Oh, yeah. It's been revived.
Revived, mate. Liners turned up yesterday, got them in today, and can never be 100% certain, but I'm 99% sure that's going to be perfect.
Yeah. Well, the liners themselves are very thick, and you've got a nice, proper tight interference fit in
Top
there.
and bottom, haven't we?
Yeah,
it went
top
in
and
lovely.
bottom.
You know when like you said, when they go in and you think that ain't going to create no issues.
No.
Tight.
Proper tight.
So, yeah, really happy with the way they went in, mate. All I've got to do with this now, you've kindly cleaned it up and painted it. All I've got to do on Monday is hone the bores. I've got a couple of thou to come out of them. No.
Not
never
too
that
much
hot.
changes, but
No.
you know.
But yeah, well, until you're back, mate, have a good weekend, everyone. Cheers. Because we're putting that back in the Amiga pistons, which are pretty much new anyway.
So back
with a new
to
set of rings.
standard, is it?
Back
or-
to standard.
Yeah.
90.8.
Nice.
Done most of the other bits. Picked up the. I've just ordered a couple of last bits from Burton for this, and then this is going to be Meccano for me. And then we've got to get it back in the car. So hopefully, between that and the Porsche, that'll keep me busy till you get back, mate.
Ideal.
And then it's V6 month,
Yeah.
isn't it? So there we go. I think we'll go home now, mate, because it's nearly 5:30.
Yeah.
Hope you have a lovely holiday,
Thank you very much.
and
I
we'll
will,
see you when you get back. Nice
yeah.
and tanned or very red? How hot?
Probably just a normal amount of pale.
Normal.
Not
never
too
that
much
hot.
changes, but you know.
Well, until you're back, mate. Have a good weekend, everyone. Cheers.